Kwa majina naitwa Vivian Chebet, nakimbia mita 800 na nimefurahia sana kuingia timu ya Olympic. Target yetu as a team tunang'ang'ana kuingia finals. Kuanzia hapo sasa final, coach ndiye atatupanga vile tutakimbia.
Thank you for joining us on Healthy Living. Stay connected to Voice of America at voanews.com. A look at your kidneys and how they impact your health. And an expert discusses chronic kidney disease and how to protect yourself. And Ivorian psychologist Noor Bakayoko shares some insights on bullying and what can be done.
It's important to avoid major events or major health crises.
How do you know if your cough is due to a serious condition? We'll have some answers. Stay well
and strive to make every day a healthy day.
TVET is 100. TVET will be celebrating 100 years of promoting skills development for empowerment and productive employment in Kenya. TVETs impart technical skills that aid in eradicating the menace of unemployment in our country. The TVET Centenary celebration will highlight the gains made in the TVET sector since 1924. The celebrations aim to promote employability, mobility, decent work, entrepreneurship, and lifelong learning among the youth and the adults. The theme of the TVET at 100 celebrations is, if education is the key to employability, TVET is the master key. Join us at Tabaita National Polytechnic from 29th to 31st July from 9 a.m. to celebrate this milestone and learn more about TVETs. The event will be graced by His Excellency President Dr. William Ruto. For more information, visit our website or call the number on your screen. All are welcome.
Good afternoon. You are in time for the Lunchtime News. A very warm welcome to the broadcast. My name is Irene. Muchuma Odem on sign language interpretation. We have Brian Muraru. Let's interact on all our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. Our top focus this afternoon, Kiharu Member of Parliament and National Assembly Budget and Appropriation Committee Chair Ndindi Nyoro has highlighted a substantial national commitment of 57 billion shillings for road infrastructure in the upcoming financial year. According to Nyoro, the investment aims to complete ongoing road projects across the country. Additionally, 5 billion shillings will be dedicated to the completion of the Mau Mau Road in the region. Nyoro also detailed allocations for other crucial areas, among them subsidized fertilizer, sugar industry reforms, and cherry fund. Nyoro announced this after inaugurating the new 7-kilometer road linking Kalishiugu to Gitui.
We have allocated around 57 billion shillings that will be going into our roads in the next financial year. We are mostly targeting roads that are ongoing. All the 57 billion will majorly be going into completion of ongoing roads across the country. And to cite some of them which are nearer home, there are roads called Mau Mau roads. And these are very long roads serving many counties, serving Kiambu County, Murang'a County, Nyeri, Nyandarua, and connecting these counties. We, among the 57 billion shillings, tumeweza kuweka kama bilioni 4 hivi, ambayo 4 to 5 billion, ambayo itakuja kuendeleza kazi ya kumalizia barabara za Mau Mau roads.
Na sasa
ile binu tulipewa ya fertilizer na tukapata mvua, Mungu ametubariki. Mnajua ya kwamba sasa from last season ya mahidi, last season tuliweza kuona ya kwamba over 200,000 more acres of land Wakenya walilima mahidi. Na hiyo harvest ya last year we got 18 million more bags of maize kuliko hapo mwaka wa awali.
A family from Loikas in Samburu County is seeking justice following the rape and subsequent murder of their kin in Maralal town. The deceased, a mother of 4, is said to have been accosted by her attackers on her way home from Maralal town at 10 p.m. Investigations into the incident are ongoing.
This is where Rose Napeyok, a mother of 4, was waylaid, raped and later murdered. The attackers are said to hide in bushes near the office of the county commissioner. The area is said to be prone to such attacks, with 5 women attacked so far. Napayok's death has angered residents of Loikas, who are now calling for speedy investigations and apprehension of the perpetrators.
What I just need is justice. Just justice, because now I have been left with the 4 kids. I have to take care of the 4 kids and the mother. Also, my mother is old.
My mom passed lately last week, Sunday night on date 15 July. And I feel very bad because the people who did that to my mom are still alive and working. And I would like to ask the government to assist catching the people who did that to my mom.
According to Samburu County Investigations Officer Martin Omumbo, investigations into the incident are underway.
And I just want to ask the DCIO Samburu to hasten, because if you have already the footage, the last footage walipata hii wiki ambayo imeisha, you now need to hasten that process. We want to see people arrested. Tunataka sasa kesi ikuliwe kama watu wako ndani. Investigations ifanywe kama watu wako ndani, because that is the only justice tutapatia watoto.
Elsewhere in Kisii County, the discovery of the body of 46-year-old Elvis Marube Sobu in his bedroom has angered residents of Gesabakwa village in Kenyenya sub-county. The residents are accusing law enforcers of laxity, saying cases of murder are on the rise in the area.
Hakuna uchunguzi yoyote ambayo inafanywa. Sababu kama huyu Zobo vile ameuawa hapa ama ameuliwa hapa, akitolewa hapa kipelekwa, hiyo mambo imefanya nini?
Area OCPD Sepa Gomba, who intervened to allow for the removal of the body, has assured the residents that action will be taken going forward.
Kwa hivyo wananchi wenzangu, tafadhali msiwe na wasiwasi. Mimi niko hapa, mmesema tukuje tuongeleshe. Mimi nina hakika huyu ambaye amefanya kitendo kama hii, kama kuna mtu ambaye amefanya kitendo hichi, nataka munipatie tu wiki moja.
Nancy Okware, Lunchtime News.
Still on security concerns, security teams in Garissa County are embarking on a major operation targeting criminal gangs that have been terrorizing residents in the town and its environs. The latest incident captured on CCTV cameras show gang and knife-wielding men stealing from a local shop. Many have now opted to close their businesses early, a major impediment to the hopes of a 24-hour economy in the town. Security teams have already arrested 15 suspected individuals as operations continue.
Garissa cannot afford insecurity. Our colleagues, the chiefs, should really be in a position to help us properly in identifying some of these local dynamics.
That operation is going to continue until peace and normalcy comes back to this town.
Victims of recurring floods in Tana River region are calling for support from the government to help them re-establish their lives. The rising water levels exacerbated by heavy rains in the region have left devastating impacts to the locals, with hundreds rendered homeless and struggling to survive in overcrowded camps. John Kahiro highlights the woes of the troubled Delta residents.
The Tana Delta, a low-lying area prone to flooding, has seen increased frequency and intensity of floods in the recent past. The situation has been dire this year in particular, with over 600,000 people affected by the March to May floods, leaving over 300,000 locals displaced. The locals have been forced to abandon their homes and seek refuge in camps.
Huu ni mwaka wa 10. Kila mwaka tunatoka, maji yanakuja, sisi tunatoka. Maji yanakuja, tunatoka, tunakuja, tunakaa, maji kikauka, tunarudi. Hiyo ni shida ile ambayo tunaipitia.
In these camps, conditions are harsh, with the influx of the affected locals stretching the capacity of the facilities here.
Hatujapata msaada wa maana. Manake mpaka saa hii makarvasi ndo haya yameoza. Saa hii mvua ikinyesha iko ndani. Kwa hivyo tunateseka.
The situation has left those seeking refuge here at the risk of contracting illnesses such as waterborne diseases.
Kipindupindu nafikiri tulipoteza, hizi kambi zote ziko hapa. Nafikiri tulipoteza mtu mmoja dumi ambao alipatikana na kipindupindu ikawa ameaga.
Her share is ordeally similar to many others who have been forced to adapt to the challenging environment.
Kwa zile kuja huku ile baridi sana inanisumbua kwa sababu asma mimi nikiamka asubuhi siwezi toka, nakaa tu ndani ya nyumba mpaka jua litoke ndio nitoke nje nipanda na ile jua. Ile baridi siwezi kutoka nje nianze kufanya kazi zangu.
Watoto waliathirika sana kwa sababu ya baridi. Baridi kali, ile baridi iliwaumiza sana na pia vyakula havikuwa vinapatikana.
Peter Onyingwa, a public health officer in Tana Delta sub-county, says the local government in collaboration with the Kenya Red Cross has initiated education programs to locals.
As a sub-county and as a program, what we have done so far is we did try to map up now where these people are moving to the safer side, and try to bring them to the nearest health facilities.
Efforts to distribute food and other basic necessities to the affected have been hampered by the difficult terrain in this region.
Hatujapata chakula ya kutosha ukweli. Chakula tunasikia misaada inatokea huko lakini kwetu haijafika. Hatujui shida ni nini, sababu ni nini. Na huku ni shida ya maji. Na mama tunahangaika na hiyo chakula. Ni uende ukate makaa ndio upate chakula.
In less than 1 year, the communities have been displaced twice, with some vowing never to go back to their original homes, further calling for more comprehensive and sustainable solutions to their plight.
It's a call to the partner and also to the government that we need now to come up with the strategies how we are going to resettle those people where they were before, and ensure, and especially now, those patients of ours, they continue with the service they are supposed to get.
Wao wamechukua ahadi watalinda mwananchi yeye na mali yake. Inafaa watupatie makao ya kudumu. Ndio itakuwa suluhisho peke yake.
Kahiro for Lunchtime News.
Residents of Tabaita in Soin, Sigowet sub-county, Kericho County have accused the national and county government of Kericho of neglecting them in development activities. According to the residents, the area which borders Nyakach sub-county in Kisumu County, Nyamira and Homa Bay counties is facing cattle theft between the two neighboring communities, poor roads, infrastructure and insecurity.
Sisi kama vijana tungependa sasa hapa hivi Tabaita location ikuwe location, na hatuna hata mabarabara ya county, hatuna tena mabarabara ya national hapa hivi. Tabaita tumesaulika kuanzia mababa zetu tukakuja mpaka sisi, ndio watoto wetu ndio inaenda tena kukaliwa, hakuna hata barabara.
Kwa mama wenye wanauza mboga wanateseka sana. Yes. Security light hakuna. Ikifika saa moja yenye biashara ingekuwa inapanda, hakuna stima. Tutasaidiwa aje? Bwana mheshimiwa wetu tutetee.
Tumekubaliana kwamba mimi niendelee na juhudi zangu za kusi serikali na haswa wizara ya masuala ya ndani ili iweze kuhakikisha ya kwamba hiyo location ya Tabaita imeweza kupatikana.
The International Commission of Jurists and Africa Litigation Surgery Conference has kicked off in earnest with delegates from across the continent converging in Nairobi County. Under the theme Pushing Back Against Authoritarian Regimes, the conference provides a unique and enlightening experience on how public interest litigation, PIL, can be used to resist and counteract authoritarian regimes across the continent. Speaking during the official opening of the conference in Nairobi County, the chairperson, International Commission of Jurists, Protas Saende, said the conference will bring together legal experts and leaders dedicated to pushing back against oppression.
They develop strategies in terms of how public interest litigation and strategic litigation can be used to challenge.
We'll have a country of accountability, we'll have a country less of ethnicity, we'll have a country more of rule of law, we have a country that completely lives the Constitution 2010 that we have.
This conference is very important because we are actually reviewing, assessing, and also understanding how public interest litigation has helped the development of law as well as brought accountability.
When you're pursuing even the public interest litigation, it is not tailored to what the funder wants. And what we do promote is democratic governance, human rights, observance of human rights, and the rule of law.
A section of legislators drawn from the Orange Democratic Movement in Nyanza region have challenged the 4 ODM cabinet nominees to effectively use their dockets to transform the lives of Kenyans if approved by Parliament. Led by the Game Member of Parliament, Elisha Odhiambo, the leaders welcomed President William Ruto's gesture, saying the dockets that the nominees have been assigned, if managed well, will positively impact the citizenry.
The dockets that ODM members have been given are critical dockets. They are critical dockets that, if they use well, will change lives in communities.
Women representatives allied to Kenya Kwanza are on the ground to rally young Kenyans to give the president and his administration time to implement key projects. The leaders who visited the 3rd county in Marsabit, led by Deputy Majority Whip Naomi Wako and Deputy Speaker Gladys Sholei, emphasized on the importance of a peaceful nation.
Kwa sababu tunajua wamama ndio pillars ya nchi yetu. Wamama tukishikilia amani, nchi itakuwa na amani. Wamama tukishikilia maendeleo, nchi itakuwa na maendeleo.
Hatuna nchi mbili. Tuna nchi moja peke yake ambayo ni nchi ya Kenya.
Tunafurahi sana tumekuwa na amani hapa nchini. Wiki kama 3 zimepita, kulikuwa na shida mingi hapa. Na niwashukuru sana, mumeombea rais, mkaombea nchi, na sasa kuna amani.
President William Ruto ako na mipango mizuri sana kwa watu wa Kenya. Tuwapatie nafasi aendelee na hiyo kazi.
Enda amani, sisi kutoka Nakuru tumetuma rizala ama message ya kusema sisi tunapenda amani na sisi wote tupende nchi yetu na tuweke amani katika nchi yetu.
Tunazunguka Kenya mzima tukikumbusha wamama, sisi tuko na juhudi kubwa sana ya kuombea nchi yetu ndio isimame, ndio hizi projects zote ziweze kufanyika.
The government has been urged to establish a skills training center in the Watamu area, Kilifi County, to equip youth with diverse vocational skills. Speaking during Rotary Club anniversary held in Malindi, the organization's senior officer Leonard Ithau said the move will also help combat the rising cases of teenage pregnancies and early marriages in the area. Rotary Club President Gaye Di Costa added that a skills training center would ensure that young people who did not get a chance to advance their education get equipped with skills that will boost them economically.
Rotary is a global service organization of close to 1.4 million members scattered throughout the world, in fact in 200 countries throughout the world. In this region, we have close to 4,000 members, volunteers who spend their time and energies in addressing community needs. We are a community service organization, so we intervene through projects that deal with water supply, do with basic education, mother and child care, economic empowerment.
We would like to focus on tailoring, we'd like to focus on baking, we'd like to focus on hospitality, we'd like to focus on carpentry. And if we can give these young people or, people who have maybe not finished school properly, if they can get skills, they would be easy to actually create their own employment.
Moi University has received a significant boosting for its educational infrastructure following the donation of a digital audio-visual equipment worth 6 million shillings by the Shanghai Municipal People's Government and Donghua University. Speaking during the launch of the digital classroom, dubbed Shanghai Love Classroom, at Moi University, Mombasa campus, the Vice Secretary General of Shanghai Municipal People's Government, Shang Yongying, stated that the advanced technology equipment which will be installed in the classrooms are aimed at providing a vital platform for digital education and to facilitate distance learning. Sentiments echoed by Moi University Vice Chancellor Professor Isaac Kosgei, who said that the smart classroom will enhance teaching and learning experiences with students and faculties. One classroom will be set up in the Mombasa campus and the other one will be at the main campus in Uasin Gishu County.
Smart classrooms provide a very vital platform for digital education. People from everywhere in the world are now focusing more and more on the possibility of distance learning. And I know that Moi University has been a forerunner in this field for the past decade. And we have started from 2016 to establish digital classroom project with many of our partnerships all over the world, including Moi University, because we have that CI, Confucius Institute and Moi. We set up a digital learning platform back then. So we would love to make use of those equipment donated by the Shanghai Municipal Government to even strengthen that platform to make it do more.
One of the things that we do with our Confucius Institute, which we started way back in 2015 at Moi University, is teaching Chinese. And we would like to extend teaching from the main campus to Coast Campus as well, where we'll be serving the community, those who are interested in learning Chinese. They will be able to come to this smart classroom and get to learn also from their phones and so on.
Residents of Kipini Eastward in Tana River County took to the streets to demand the sacking of their assistant chief amid allegations of corruption. The demonstrators who gathered outside the local administration office claimed that the assistant chief has been soliciting bribes from community members to process their applications for government relief funds and land. Evans Rono, the Assistant County Commissioner, however, has responded to the allegations by pledging a thorough investigation into the matter. The investigation is expected to focus on the validity of the bribery claims and the Assistant Chief's conduct in office.
Tunaletewa pesa ya kusaidia masikini, lakini yeye anapea wale watu wana manduga na wana ng'ombe. Sasa tutasaidika vipi? Sisi wa Kenya na ni haki yetu.
Mimi niko na uchungu nikisimama hapa, manake babu yangu mimi alikuwa andikiwa hizo pesa na tukawa, manake hana simu, manake zilikuwa zinakuja kwa simu. Bwana chifu akasema atachukua hiyo nafasi, itumike laini yake, akuwa anapokea hizo pesa, atakuwa anampatia babu yangu. Natoka hiyo pesa ilipewa, hakuwahi mpea hata shilingi moja.
Kama kuna pesa yoyote imepeanwa katika njia tatanishi, inaweza kuwa ufisadi, Sasa ufisadi tunafanyia nini? Si kesi? Lazima achunguzwe kama alichukua. Kama ni kurejesha, pesa itarejeshwa.
Rural Roads Authority Kera has announced the closure of a 57.1 kilometers road network connecting Kasoio and Eldamaravine following a landslide experienced at Borowoyin area in Baringo County. Baringo Central Sub-County Kera official Dunstan Nyachiro said the move will pave way for contractors on site to assess the damage and repair the landslide affected points before it is certified for public use. Motorists plying the busy road have been urged to use alternative routes during the closure period.
On short term, we are closing the road. On long term, we want to repair the landslide point to bring the road to normalcy as quickly as possible. Our advice to most is to be careful. Those that are carrying passengers, try not to overload. Those carrying materials, don't carry excess.
I know this is the road that's serving Cabernet from these other sides of Eldamaravine. For now, we'd like to encourage the people to use alternative routes, either through Marigat or through other regions.
To health matters, the priorities for the Ministry of Health in addressing issues surrounding reproductive health, such as reducing preventable maternal deaths and adolescent pregnancies, have remained stagnant in the past years, despite the ministry making efforts to deal with the menaces. Subsequently, the African Institute for Development Policy, AFIDEP, has converged a training in Machakos Town for health ministry staff on evidence of gender inclusion in policy making to bring evidence to help address these issues. According to Dr. Violet Murunga, a research and policy analyst at the African Institute for Development Policy, the training intends to help ministry officials who work in the technical division of reproductive and maternal health in dealing with the challenges.
Ministry of Health technical officials who work in the Division of Reproductive Health, Division of Reproductive and Maternal Health specifically, and some people representing gender as well, and also some people from their policy and planning departments. All these individuals are critical because, as I said, the project is focusing on reproductive health as one of the issues, and then of course focusing on strengthening evidence in decision making and also equity issues. And so that's why we have all these groups represented in this training.
All right, 23 minutes past the top of the hour. Remember, Olympics Eco KBC will be coming back with more, including ones making headlines in the world of business as well as sports. Stay with us.
Kenya ni nchi ya mabingwa na
hapa hakuna shortcut.
Kuwa bingwa ni kujitolea, kujituma.
Mabingwa hutambua mabingwa wenzao.
Mabingwa hurauka kabla ya jua kuchomoka. Wengine kuwa mabingwa wa familia. Mabingwa huhakikisha tunashine kama mabingwa. Wao hutulisha vyema. Ma-influencer wa kutuconnect mtandaoni. Mabingwa, wale ambao hutuongoza.
Sisi wote ni mabingwa.
Kijana hapo mbele, mzee hapo nyuma. Jamaa na jembe. Boda aliyemleta jamaa na jembe. Msichana wa kibao. Memba wa bodi, msichana wa maziwa.
Sisi wote ni Team Kenya.
Unajua, token mita yako inahitaji system update. Ni rahisi na ni free. Ukipata ujumbe kutoka Kenya Power, yani SMS, weka kodi ya kwanza kureset, alafu weke kodi ya pili kuupdate ili token mita yako iendelee kufanya kazi kama kawaida. Update token mita yako. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako na Kenya Power and Lighting Company.
Glad you're watching the Lunchtime News. Welcome back. Now, Samburu Governor Lati Lelelit now wants the Kenya Dairy Board officials in Samburu sacked following constant claims of harassment. The dairy officials in Samburu are alleged to have harassed and arrested women hawking milk in the area. Samburu women who pitched camp at the governor's office want the county administration to deal with the officials imposing fines on women hawking milk in the region. According to them, the Kenya dairy officials in Maternal have been fining them 5,000 shillings for hawking milk.
Sijauliza ati iko shida gani, imeshika tu mpaka polisi na sijaangalia hata yumasiwa, ni pesa tu mesema toa. Na ile ngopatu alikuwa anatoa natoka nini kaunti nyingine iko hatia kani kukuja kuuza kwa Samburu.
Na polisi wako na right gani ya kushika mama? Si ameiba, hajaiba, hajafanya kitu kingine chochote, lakini wanamshika kwa sababu ya nini? Na huyo mama kupelekwa polisi wanatolesha yeye fine ya shilingi 5,000. Hiyo 5,000 sikuwa nayo.
Lakini tunashangaa sana ati wanashikwa, wanakamatwa, tuko polisi wanatoleshwa pesa. Sasa kusema ukweli, hao mama ni pesa gani wako nazo ya kutoa? Hiyo ni kunyanyasa wanyonge.
Ni mara ya mwisho nyinyi dairy board, na I want you to record this, kugusa wa mama. Mkigusa wa mama mtakuwa mmegusa kila mtu Samburu County. Kila mtu Samburu County. Na wa mama mimi nataka kuambia agriculture iko devolved. Everybody knows in Kenya that agriculture is devolved. It's under the county government. What business ndio hiyo dairy board, na ndio tunaambia rais afunje hii parastatals ambayo imekuwa redundant, haina maana. How can dairy board, which is part of the Ministry of Agriculture and Agriculture devolved, atikuja kuzunguka hapa county kulipisha wa mama?
The National Liberal Party leader Augustus Muli has castigated Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition for withdrawing its position within the selection panel and replace him with Ambassador Koki Muli. The NLP leader says the move by the Azimio outfit is illegal and that he was duly appointed to the task force, and he is threatening to move to court if he is not gazetted with the other members of the panel. The selection panel has 3 months to finalize its recruitment exercise and forward the names of the nominees to the president. It shall thereafter stand dissolved unless its mandate is extended by parliament.
Out of the 23 parties, 16 chose to vote for me rather than vote for the wiper candidate, Ambassador Dr. Koki Muli. I was given a certificate. Of course, my right is to go to court, but I'm counting on the parliament to do the right thing. And the right thing is all here, very well documented. If we take this to any judge, they'll find it to the favor on our side.
Therefore, we request even the DCI, Bwana Amin, you have your client in the name Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, Junet and group. Come and pick them for actually falsifying documents and presenting them in the office of the clerk.
Hospitals in Homa Bay County have received a new batch of vaccines, marking the end of a shortage that has lasted since last year. Health Chief Officer Kevin Osori announced that the county has an adequate supply of children's vaccines, including BCG, oral polio, tetanus, diphtheria, and measles rubella. He urged parents to take their children to local facilities for vaccinations.
Back then there was a shortage for some period of time, if you recall, but now they have since been brought to the country and they've been disseminated and sent all the way to the counties. So for us in Homa Bay, we don't have any shortages of vaccines. We are continuing to mobilize using our healthcare providers and even community health promoters, CHPs, to mobilize those who may have missed because of a lack of vaccine some days back.
Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs Musalem Davadi has assured Kenyans in the diaspora of the government's commitment to the protection of their rights and welfare while working abroad. while presiding over the send-off ceremony for more than 60 teachers who have secured job placement in various schools across the United States of America. Mudavadi said Kenya has gained an immense reputation globally as Kenyans working in most foreign countries have proved to be trustworthy, reliable, committed, and have shown high standards of competence in various sectors of the foreign labor market.
We really want to thank those who have really spearheaded this. Consult Center Limited and Pursuer International. We must always remember that the moment you're on that plane and you land, you are now under a different jurisdiction. And therefore you must respect the laws and regulations of that land so that you don't land on the wrong side of the law. So tunawatakia heri, tunataka mupate nafasi nzuri, lay the ground for the others who will come after you. And I want to assure you that the government of Kenya will always be as supportive as it can be.
A 40-year-old man from Kakamega has died after being attacked by his bull cow. Conrad Atenya, who is an employee of the Kakamega County government, met his death after being hit by his fighter bull known as Mukumbeti. The deceased is said to have taken the bull for a walk when it attacked him.
A cloud of sorrow hangs over Luhumbe village in Shinyalu constituency following the death of Conrad Atenya. Atenya died after being hit by his fighter bull, Mukumbeti.
Mume wangu niliambia lazima ni ng'ombe yangu mpaka niitoe niitembeze. Wakati huo nilikuwa jikoni, nilienda kupika chakula. Watoto wakawa wako hapa nje wanacheza. Waliniita, mama toka jikoni, ng'ombe inaua baba. Kweli nilifika mahali penye pulu iko. Ilikuwa uchungu, nilikuwa usuni. Nilipompata ng'ombe imempepea, imemwangusha kama.
Nilipika simu kwa bibi ya Atenya. Ndiye Atenya kwa wapi? Bibi yake akaniambia Atenya amekufa. Siku wako hapa. Bali shida imepata. Uchungu. Ni uchungu sana. Mimi mwenyewe ni mgonjwa, siwezi hata kutembea.
The bull, which the deceased has owned for 2 years, was later slaughtered and the meat shared among the villagers at midnight as per the traditions of Isoha community. In Turkana County, security officers have been urged to avoid using excessive force when dealing with members of the public. Speaking during a special prayer session, Turkana County Commissioner Julius Kavita urged police officers to embrace integrity at all times.
Bunduki ni ya kulinda mali, ni ya kulinda binadamu, ni ya kulinda kila kitu, lakini si kuwa wasiitumie vibaya.
This comes as a section of leaders have called on the Independent Policing Oversight Authority to expedite investigations of alleged police brutality during the recent protests. They spoke in Busia during the burial of 36-year-old Dennis Lubanga, who was shot in Kibwezi, Makueni County during the recent protests.
Kama hawawezi kufanya investigation, tujue ni askari gani mwenye anapiga risasi wetu na aende kotini. Then we must disband. Hakuna haja ya kule mshahara ya watu. What are they doing? Wanafanya kazi gani?
Meanwhile, an 85-year-old woman displaced by floods in Dumberi, Kiambu County is among residents yet to return to their homes. A multi-sectoral team visited the affected areas and vowed to ensure those displaced, including the granny, gets reprieve.
Wasituambie tu atakuja juu ni wengi sana wametutembelea na wakakuja wakatuelezea watakuja kutuondolea hiyo maji. Mama mwenye huko amehama, anaomba kwa kukaa na ako na shamba yake.
Umbu ya malaria. Magonjwa ni mingi hapa kwa ajili ya hii maji.
Nasio Kware, Lunchtime News.
Welcome to Channel 1 Business. The planned overhaul of Jomo Kenyatta International Airport will cost approximately 260 billion shillings. The funding will be undertaken by Adani Airport Holdings Limited of India. The company is expected to develop an associated apron, new terminal building and taxiway system in a bid to enhance efficiency at the country's premier airport. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi says the proposed expansion and modernization of JKA by Adani Airport Holdings will be done through a transparent, rigorous process.
In March 2024, Kenya Airports Authority received a privately initiated proposal by Adani Airports Holdings to modernize and expand the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport through a public-private partnership program. However, the proposal has caused widespread uproar, with a section of Kenyans opposing the plan to lease the facility to the Indian investors.
Jomo Kenyatta Airport is not on sale. This is a public asset. It is a strategic asset. And if it was going to be sold, you can only do it after a full public process that Parliament endorses. What we need to appreciate is that we will need to modernize our airport.
A statement by the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi says the proposal by the Indian firm is only meant to upgrade and expand critical JKIA infrastructure that has deteriorated considerably and is unable to support the projected growth in passenger numbers and cargo traffic. JKIA currently handles 8.6 million passengers and is expected to grow to about 30.5 million passengers in the next 3 decades. The upgrade will include development of the new passenger terminal building, refurbishment of existing terminals, a second runway, and enhanced cargo facilities. Musalia said that the proposal will, however, undergo the requisite due process and in accordance with the legal frameworks established under the Private Partnership Act before its approval. The proposed expansion of Jomo Kenyatta International Airport is estimated to cost 260 billion shillings. Irene Mojenga for Lunchtime News.
East African Breweries Limited EABL says its net profit for the year ending June 2024 decreased by 12% to 10.9 billion shillings on account of weak shilling and social unrest. EABL Chairman Martin Oduor Otieno says inflationary pressures, high interest rates and fluctuating currency pose substantial hurdles for consumer spending and business operations. Despite this, net sales rose 13%, 124 billion shillings. The listed brewer has proposed a final dividend payout of 6 shillings per share to be paid in October this year, subject to approvals.
Currency is where we've had the big challenge, particularly in Kenya. We know how Forex has been moving, but luckily, I think it's good, we've all seen some improvements within the last half. I think when we were here first half, these Forex exchange rates were really tough for us. Interest rates continue to be a concern, especially in Kenya.
Finance cost is the other big headwind we have this year, costing us about 8.2 billion compared to last year's 5.5 billion, an increase of 49%, and that coming despite our paying down debt by 11 billion. And that brings about a profit before tax of 16.8 compared to 18.7, and that's 10% down year on year.
We are reservedly optimistic about growth prospects of our business. While we anticipate continued economic volatility, our strategic focus will be on delivering efficiency, enhancing our brand portfolio, and expanding our market reach. We will continue to invest in innovation, capacity building, and digital transformation to stay ahead of the curve and deliver sustainable growth.
Landlords are less likely to increase house rent this year due to the tightening of the markets amid soaring taxes and unpredictable inflation rates. According to the House Land Price Index for the second quarter of 2024, rental prices experienced a marginal increase of 0.01%, with property owners remaining cautious about increasing rents to retain tenants.
Between April and June 2024, land prices in Nairobi and its environs grew by 1.3% at an average price of 203.7 million shillings for an acre, despite a slowdown from 3.3% in the previous quarter. However, growing demand for affordable land, urbanization and improved infrastructure saw land prices in satellite towns of Kiserian, Limuru and Ongata Rongai record price gains at 9.4%, 8.4% and 7.8% respectively. You are likely to pay more for an acre of land in Ruiru than satellite town of Ongata Rongai at 32.9 million shillings against 26.7 million shillings respectively. According to House Consult, satellite towns are driving the revival of land as a competitive asset class with an average annual growth of over 10%. With interest rates projected by the Central Bank of Kenya to fall in the coming months, the stable price growth seen over the last 2 years should make land even more attractive as an asset. The report further indicates a dip in land prices in Kilimani and Kileleshwa, attributed to, among others, increase of high-rise buildings in the suburb areas that is causing jitters among private developers. During the period in review, rental prices experienced a slight increase of 0.01% in the quarter. In the suburbs, the average yield increased to 7% by the end of June from 6.9% in March. Conversely, rental yields in satellite towns decreased slightly from 4.9% in March to 4.8% in June, reflecting varying market conditions in these areas. Regina Manyara reporting for KBC Channel 1.
Kenya and Uganda have officially commenced discussions regarding the extension of the petroleum products pipeline from Eldoret to Kampala. The initiative is a key infrastructure project that is likely to significantly impact the regional fuel importation, as our reporter Nduta Mokami narrates.
Kenya and Uganda have opened discussion on the use of the pipeline to ferry petroleum products. During a meeting between Uganda's Energy Minister Ruth Sentamu and Kenya's Ministry of Energy officials led by Petroleum Principal Secretary Mohamed Liban, the talks centered around planning and preparation for the kickoff of the project, presenting Kenya's pipeline operations, infrastructure, and human capacity to handle the project. The pipeline extension will see Kenya construct a multi-product pipeline from Eldoret to the Kenya-Uganda border town of Malaba, which is about 127 kilometers from Eldoret. Uganda, on the other hand, is expected to put up a connecting line from Malaba to the capital, Kampala, about 236 kilometers. Future expansion to Kigali has also been mooted. Under a new agreement between the Uganda National Oil Corporation and Dutch energy multinational Vitol Bahrain, Uganda aims to secure more competitive fuel prices, then rely on Kenya's port of Mombasa and infrastructure to transport oil products to the Eldoret and Kisumu Kenya Pipeline Company depots. Nduta Mokami for Lunchtime News.
In sports, Nigeria shocked the Australian women's basketball team when they began their medal hunt at the Paris 2024 Olympics with a 75-62 win at the Pierre-Mauroy Stadium in Lille, France. Australia needs to finish in the top 2 in their group to make it to the basketball quarterfinals.
Nigeria began their Olympic medal hunt with a resounding 75-62 win over five-time Olympic medalist Australia in Lille. Ezine Kalu, with 19 points and 5 rebounds, was the architect of what was a memorable win for Nigeria, ranked 12th in the world. Alana Smith top-scored for Australia, ranked 3rd in the world, with 15 points, while Sammy Whitcomb and Jen Melbourne contributed 13 and 12 points respectively. Australia will next play Canada, ranked 5th in the world, as Nigeria play hosts France, the Tokyo 2020 bronze medal winners. In tennis, Novak Djokovic outclassed his longtime rival Rafa Nadal to win the Olympic second-round match and continue his bid to land an elusive gold medal. 37-year-old Djokovic looked on a different level to Nadal for most of the one-sided contest, which he won 6-1, 6-4 on the Roland Garros clay. The pair, who have won 46 Grand Slam singles titles between them, shared an embrace at the net before Djokovic sportingly clapped Nadal off the court.
The women's 200-meter freestyle final.
In swimming, Molly O'Callaghan led a 1-2 Australian finish in the 200-meter freestyle on her way to setting a new Olympic record of 1 minute 53.27 seconds, taking gold ahead of her compatriot Irene Titmus.
The government is mulling over establishing a permanent training base for the national rugby team. Shujaa Sports Principal Secretary Engineer Peter Toom revealed the government is set to identify a venue either at Kasarani or at the Talanta City Stadium, where the rugby team will be camping in preparation for the forthcoming